Welcome back to Cure for the Common Game. Today we're going to go with a mono black deck, Ascendant Evincar. I kind of like the old Krovax guy here. Well, his name was Krovax before he got completed by the Phyrexians, but I like the pump is pretty decent, but the non-black creatures getting a -1/-1 can lead to some kind of one-sided things. It shuts down a lot of decks, elves, goblins, Pegasus. A lot of decks. And what I did here was something a little different. This is not your typical mono black deck. I'm playing with 5 cards that are not creatures. Obviously, some of those are just good old-fashioned standbys like the Animate Dead and the Bad Moon. Obviously, we got to have those. It's running 1 Diabolic Tutor, a Liliana. I do apologize here again for the foreign nature of this card for those English-speaking folk that are watching. I call her the Dark Ritual Lily because her emblem is ridiculous. Your swamp's tapped for 4 black, or 5 black. Is it 5? 4 black. 4 black mana. I'm thinking of Lake of the Dead. But Hecatomb. Hecatomb is a card that's near and dear to my heart. I remember this is absolutely amazing in this deck. Now, I don't know how as they say, your average mileage may vary, but, well, we got a little lighting going on. Anyway. Hecatomb comes into play, you got to sack 4 dudes, but then you get to tap a swamp to deal a damage. This is more powerful than you would think. Anyway, it's a good card, especially when you've got just an amazing amount of creatures. Now, we're not going to go through all of them. Obviously, we're going to have some removal in the form of permanent removal. Now, this is the art. I'm going to give this one front for a second, but just because I want to talk about this art. Nightmare started off with this art, and it's had several afterwards. And I tell you what, yes, there are some more modern art pieces out there, but this, I believe in my heart of hearts, this is the iconic picture of Magic. This was on everything. Wizards got blue jean jackets with this on it. You might be, you can Google search it, see what they look like, but this is the art. Melissa Benson's Nightmare is Nightmare. There are few iconic cards out there that I really don't care if you change the art on, but Nightmare, come on. This should be the art for Nightmare. I don't know if there's a reason why they can't. Anyway, we're playing mono black. I'll get off my artwork soapbox now, but we're playing mono black, so Nightmare, pretty good. We've got Sorceress Queen, which I also count as removal. It's when they attack, you make it smaller, you block, you kill it. It's got a lot of stuff you would think. The Tutor Demon, now, speaking of the Tutor Demon, this guy seems pretty good. His drawback is actually not as much of a drawback as we think because he puts the Demon Tutor back in your hand. He puts the Necrotal back in your hand. He puts all of those things that have an amazing come-into-play ability. You get to put them back in your hand during your upkeep. This is really good. It doesn't happen a lot. Hey, Gravedigger, to get your Lost Boys back. Got a lot of demons in here. Now, one of the best uncommon black creatures to ever see print. This and Black Knight, of course, were auto includes. Dimir Houseguard, I don't know if I've talked to you all about Transmute before, but this is, it's a tutor. That's what it is. Transmute is an amazing ability. I would love to see it come back. Because we do have so many dudes. Getting +1 for each one. We got Transfigure, which I thought Transfigure was an amazing mechanic, but you are looking at the only card with Transfigure on it. You spend the mana, you sack it from play, and you get to get a card with that mana cost. So I mean, it's good. Of course, you know, good old fashioned standbys like the Blood Artist. Now the Thrashing Wampus. For those of y'all that didn't play in Type 2, is what it was called back then. We didn't have that fancy standard word, but Thrashing Wampus can end games. You simply play the Wampus. I'm going to activate it twice on your turn, on my turn. I do it twice so it doesn't kill him. Now, granted, in this deck, you've got some pump for your dudes, so you might can activate it a little more. You're wiping boards. I mean, it's Pestilence on a 3/3. Can't go wrong with that. Here again, whoa, Revenant's flying away from me. Revenant, power toughness equal number of dead guys. Hey, you know, I like removal on legs. Really, really big legs. So that works. Since we're talking about removal here, some of these random conspiracy cards are pretty good. Creatures in all graveyards. But as I said, hey, there's a Shriek Maw. That's another one that'd be good to put back in your hand. The Helldozer. As you can see, I'm not going through every single card, but this is more or less just a who's who of. It's just a lot of good quality value black creatures. The Big Game Hunter. The Big Game Hunter, I really like him. He's good to put back in your hand and keep replaying. Obviously, we're going to have the Great Merchant because, let's face it, we're going to have some devotion. It's pretty good. It's just a lot of dudes. There's not a whole lot of decks that can actually keep up with just cranking out the amount of creatures. Now, granted, it's not the fastest deck in the world, but there is a good curve to it. You can generally play anything you want. It's mono black. It does mono black things. So that's what I've got for today. I do appreciate y'all watching. But I've been talking about this Ascendant Evincar here. I know my mother-in-law plays. She plays a Ascendant Evincar deck, and it's mean. It's a lot meaner than this one is. But anyway, I appreciate you guys for watching, and we'll talk to you later. But right now, it is time to shuffle and cut.